Have you ever felt like you're all alone, even when people are around? Like no one really understands what you're going through? You're not the only one. And more importantly, it's not just bad luck. The Stoics believed that moments of isolation aren't accidents. They're part of life's design. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In other words, how we use our alone time shapes who we become. Maybe your loneliness isn't here to hurt you. Maybe it's here to prepare you, to clear the noise, to help you hear your own voice. Loneliness in the modern world. We are more connected than ever. We have social media, video calls, and endless content at our fingertips. But still, more and more people feel empty, disconnected, and alone. According to a Harvard study, over 60% of young adults report feeling serious loneliness. That's not just sad, it's dangerous. Research shows that long-term loneliness can harm our brains, weaken our immune system, and even shorten our lives. But what if there's more to this feeling than just pain? You might think you're the only one feeling this way, but you're not. And maybe, just maybe, this loneliness is happening for a reason. Maybe it's life's way of pressing pause, so you can listen to what truly matters. The Stoics believed that uncomfortable emotions like loneliness are not enemies, they are teachers. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." In other words, what if your loneliness isn't a punishment, but a different perspective you haven't seen yet? The Stoic view. Isolation as transformation. To the Stoics, solitude wasn't something to run from. It was something to value. They believed strength comes from within, not from how many people surround you. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because real growth often happens when you step away from the crowd, when you stop trying to fit in and start trying to understand yourself. Loneliness can feel like you're lost. But what if you're just being separated so you can evolve? The Stoics saw life as a series of tests, each one shaping your character. Being alone is one of those tests. It teaches you to sit with your thoughts, face your fears, and become your own best friend. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Nowhere can you find a more peaceful and less busy retreat than in your own soul." That's not just ancient wisdom. It's a practical tool. When you're not constantly distracted by others, you begin to hear your own voice. You reflect, you question, and you grow. The silence becomes your mentor, not your enemy. The science behind solitude. Modern science is finally catching up with what the Stoics knew thousands of years ago. A 2020 study from Nature Communications found that solitude activates a part of the brain called the default mode network. This network helps you reflect on the past, imagine your future, and connect deeply with yourself. In simple words, alone time helps your brain reset and think clearly. Another study from the University at Buffalo showed that people who choose to spend time alone often have better focus, clearer goals, and more emotional control. But there's a key difference here. It's not about being lonely. It's about choosing to be alone with purpose. So the next time you feel isolated, remember, it's not a setback. It's a setup for clarity, strength, and self-mastery. As Seneca once said, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy." You are arranging what lies in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours. Right now, solitude is in your control. Use it wisely. Sometimes life takes people away from you so you can meet yourself. The Stoics believed that silence and solitude are where real strength is built. Seneca once said, We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Your loneliness may feel heavy, but it's also shaping you. It's teaching you to rely on your mind, not the world. Remember, you are not falling behind. You're being pulled inward to rise later, stronger. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. So stay patient, stay steady, and trust that this quiet phase is not punishment, it's preparation.